There's one pattern I see killing small channels, and I only found it after I embarrassingly failed to coach 5 creators. So, I did something recently that I'm actually kind of embarrassed about. A few months ago, I finally caved in. I've had people asking me for a long time if I would coach them or look at their channels, and I always said no, mostly because I didn't think I had anything special to say. But I had moments where I thought, maybe I'm being too hard on myself. Maybe I can actually help. So I asked YouTubers in my newsletter to see if anyone is interested, and I did it for free. Surprisingly, I got a few interests, so I picked 5 of them. I built this massive 30-day plans. I created workspaces to share. I created direct communication channels to me. I really gave it everything, and I failed, like spectacularly. Out of those 5 creators, we didn't launch a single video, not one. At first, I wanted to blame them. I thought, why aren't they doing the work? But then I looked at the systems I gave them, and I realized I wasn't coaching them, I was suffocating them. I was giving them the exact same logical advice I've been giving you guys on my channel. So I'm making this video because if I can't even get 5 people to upload a video while I'm talking to them one-on-one, then some of the things I've been telling you might be broken too. I want to show you the 3 specific traps I set for them so you can stop falling for them yourself. I started off actually really excited about this. I was genuinely happy that I could finally give back and share some of what I've learned. But looking back at those first few weeks, I realized I fell right back into my old habits of overcomplicating things. I went straight into creating systems and logics. I built this whole workspace for them. Notion boards, shared folders, direct channels to me. I thought I was being helpful. I thought I was giving them a clear path. But have you ever felt like you spent so much time preparing to do the work that you never actually got around to doing it? That's exactly what I did to them. I was asking them to fill in this long form of questions, asking them to tell me who their ideal target audience is. Not just any ideal audience, but their profession, how much they earn, their status, their demographic, and much, much more. So instead of creating that feeling, that spark of creating something, they just felt the weight of managing a project. It became another chore on their to-do list. I gave them homework. That's the easiest way to explain this. I mean, how can you be creative when you're worried about whether you fill out a database correctly? You can't, and it is such a hassle. I realized that by trying to make it professional, I actually just made it extremely high friction. And on YouTube, if the process feels like a job before you are even getting paid, the video is never going to happen. The other thing I did, and at the time I thought I was being the nice guy, was I made the whole thing completely free. I figured, hey, if I don't charge them, there's no pressure, right? I just wanted to help. But that actually turned out to be a huge mistake for everyone involved. Think about it. When was the last time you actually finished a free course you signed up to? You probably haven't. I know I take it for granted too. And it's not because you're not motivated. It's just that as humans, we prioritize the things we're invested in. I was staying up until 1 a.m. helping them, guiding them, but I hadn't given them a reason to match that level of intensity. For them, it is just another nice conversation on a Tuesday night. By not charging a fee, I accidentally signaled that my time and the advice I was giving didn't really have a cost. I realized that by trying to be the generous mentor, I actually robbed them of one thing every creator needs: urgency. I mean, if you don't have something to lose, is it even possible to push through and create a video on a tired day after a day's work? Probably not. I know I wouldn't. I basically gave them an exit before they even started, and that's on me. Even though we didn't launch any videos, I wouldn't say this pilot program was a total waste of time. I did get to really talk to these creators, but I noticed something interesting. Our conversations were actually pretty one-sided. It felt like they just needed to talk to someone. And look, I get it. Creating content is a really lonely journey. Most of the time, you're just sitting in a room by yourself, wondering if you're crazy or if your ideas actually make sense. You don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of or anyone to tell you it's going to be okay when a video flops. I realized that what these creators were looking for wasn't a system, it was a sanity check. They just wanted to feel heard and get some reassurance that they were headed in the right direction. And that's where I failed them, because I've been there too. I empathize with them too much. I let our sessions become a place to vent frustration instead of a place to take action. I didn't push back hard enough. We spent all of our energy feeling better about the problem instead of actually solving it. I should have been the one to say, hey, I hear you, but let's stop talking and fix the problem. What I also found from this was they don't need a coach. What they need is a regular channel audit, which is why I started a service to help do YouTube channel audits to help evaluate what's working, what to do next, and what they can try. If you're interested in getting your channel audit, please check out the link in the description. One thing that kept coming up in our calls was this idea that I had some kind of secret hack for growth. And I get why. We're all looking for that one weird trick that works, right? We want the secret to hacking the click-through rate or the cheat code for the YouTube algorithm. It feels like if we just find that one setting, the impressions will start flooding in. But I had to be honest with them and with myself. There is no hack. People think the algorithm is this math problem you have to solve, but it's actually just a reflection of what people are interested in. If people want to watch funny AI videos, the system pushes those videos. It's not a trick, it's just interest. I realized that by letting them focus on hacks, I was letting them avoid the hard part, which is storytelling. Mastering a story is hard. Mastering a hack is easy. And that's why so many gurus try to sell you hacks, because it's a lot easier to sell a secret trick than it is to tell someone they need to spend 3 years learning how to hold an audience's attention. This brings me to the hardest part to accept. There's a saying that goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And that was exactly my situation. I was pouring in effort and repeating myself, but I realized nothing sticks if the receiver isn't receiving. The upload button isn't in my hand and I can't press it for them. I learned that being genuine is only half the story. If my advice challenges someone's beliefs too much, it's just going to fail. Collaboration is a two-way street, and the biggest problem I have is I'm just not capable enough to inspire others to take action, at least not yet. So really, that's the reason I failed as a coach. And honestly, maybe that's for the better. Creators are smart. They have their own creativity and their own way of doing things, and they need to trust that. They don't actually need a coach to hold their hand. They just need an audit, someone to step in once in a while and check that they are on the right track. Because the hardest part of this job is getting siloed in your own head. You start wondering, am I even doing this right? What do I do next? We all need that outside perspective to clear the mind. If you're still not sure where to go next, watch more videos on my channel to help clear your mind. Get that clarity so you can take the next step. Anyways, that's all from me. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.